Grid, Mike Tango 604.
Thermal shows at least 20 plus hotspots. Recommend priority burn on Victor 138.5. Torchlight actual. Execute burn on 138.5. Keep pulse width randomized. Snake, execute MALD drop. Heading 275. Interval 5. Roger. 2 molds away. Ripple complete. 3 mold off.
同一时段，多个方向发现空中目标，航迹高度一致，飞行速度相近，编队特征异常，初步判断为诱饵弹。
雷达开启，开始捕获。港帽子启动中，目标记忆待命。辅控系统运行正常，等待发射命令。发射。目标锁定，导弹升空。感叹我强者必将葬身火海。Razor, execute MALDJ drop. Heading 265. Interval 3. 2 modes away. 3 away. 4 clean. Falcon 1-1, minus 820, bearing 270, range 40. Falcon 1-1, rifle, Rebel 2. TO at 40. 1-2, rifle, Rebel 2. 1-3, rifle, Rebel 2. 执行电磁静默，雷达立即关闭。雷达已关闭。Requesting green light for champ release. Viking 1, you're cleared out. Doors open, weapons hot. Champ away.
报告，所有电力系统已全部关闭，
立刻向作战指控室报告。
电话和无线电全部失效。
请第2号回救灯塔，请求任务指示，是否听到？关闭。请第2号暂时呼叫灯塔，通信中断，未收到回应。该无天阳号，天阳号，你是清掉，是军营，请不接管单。Falcon Light, inside BRA 270, 60 miles, Angels 22, 他是 Pastel, 汉。披萨
听见吗？好，又断了。
不是咱的问题吧？刚才还能用。
Send it. Raptor 3 rifle. Raptor 4 rifle.
这是什么东西啊？
More armor spotted. Continue engagement. Raptor 4 rifle. Triple 2 break its way 4. Maintain visual. Continue scan for movers. Good effects. Multiple impacts. Armor burning.
我们的位置全被盯上了，再不动就要困死在战壕里。坐着等死，不如冲出去战死。快过来！敌人正在逼近。该死！我们的坦克一个接一个被屠掉。
Info 1, Blackjack. Chinese armor and infantry confirmed west of your position. Engage and break their line over. Intel 1 copies. All Intel elements, form line abreast and push west. Weapons free. Engage targets at will.
三排前进，快！
Intel 2 copies.
一塔来袭，快撤！
Intel 3 engaging infantry in the open. Coke firing.
反弹导弹发射！
Suppress those bastards! No mercy! Stay online! Watch for RPGs!
黄鹰3，这里是青龙101，东向发现铁怪部队推进。
Mustang 6, this is 3-2. We're taking multiple hits on drones, loitering types, engaging from tree lines out west. Mustang, look on this 3. Easy, Pegasus. This is 6. Break contact. 200 meters. Disperse and scan the sky. Repeat, scan for loitering drones. Viking 2-1, this is Mustang 6. Confirm granite status. Are you green? Mustang 6, granite is green. Spinning up. Full output in 10 seconds. Granite is hot. Sweeping pattern alpha. Hostile signals degrading.
跟我上！没有退路，只有向前，冲出去，为祖国！赶快，为胜利冲锋！
3连、4连，全线压上！
干掉他们，不留一个！ 们靠现有的空军是挡不住他们的，立刻出动第6代战机。
主席，第6代战机尚未完成全面测试，部分系统仍不稳定。
你是想一直测试到战争结束吗？现在就派出去，哪怕是半成品也得打。